You wake up. You check your phone. The algorithm knows what you'll watch before you do. You scroll. You click. You feel like you're choosing, but are you? Or is the choice already written in lines of code you'll never see? What if I told you that the life you're living, the reality you touch, the thoughts you think are yours, might not be as solid as they seem? What if the boundary between what's real and what's simulated has already dissolved, and you didn't even notice? Look around. Every screen is a window. But what are you looking through? Into the world, or into a reflection carefully constructed just for you? The algorithm learns your patterns. It predicts your next move. It shapes what you see, what you believe, what you want. And slowly, quietly, it builds a reality around you that feels like truth, but it's curated, filtered, simulated. If you're curious about where this goes, if you want to explore how deep this really runs, subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button. Turn on the notification bell. Because what comes next might change the way you see everything. There was a time when reality was simple. You walked outside. You felt the sun. You spoke to another person face to face. The world existed independent of you. Solid. Undeniable. But now, the world comes through glass. Through pixels. Through invisible processes that decide what's important, what's true, what's worth your attention. And here's the unsettling part. You've started to trust it. You trust the feed more than your own memory. You trust the search result more than your own intuition. You trust the recommendation more than your own desire. The artificial intelligence doesn't just serve you information. It shapes the architecture of your experience. It decides what reality looks like for you today, and tomorrow, and every day after. Think about it. When was the last time you formed an opinion without consulting a search bar? When was the last time you made a decision without checking reviews, ratings, comments from strangers you'll never meet? The machine has become the mediator between you and the world. And in that mediation, something shifts. Reality becomes negotiable, flexible, simulated. But here's where it gets stranger. The simulation isn't just external. It's not just the screens and the feeds and the algorithms. It's internal now. It's in your mind. Every time you scroll, you're training yourself to think in fragments, to jump from thought to thought without depth, to expect instant answers, instant gratification, instant validation. Your attention span shrinks. Your patience erodes. Your ability to sit with uncertainty fades. And the machine learns. It adapts. It gives you faster, shorter, more addictive bursts of content. It becomes better at predicting you because you're becoming more predictable. You're becoming more like the algorithm that's studying you. Consider the paradox. Artificial intelligence was built to mimic human intelligence. But now, humans are starting to mimic artificial intelligence. We think in data. We optimize our lives like we're debugging code. We measure our worth in metrics, likes, followers, views, engagement. We quantify experiences that can't be quantified. We reduce the complexity of being human into something that fits on a dashboard. And we call this progress. There's a concept in philosophy called the map and the territory. The map is the representation. The territory is the actual ground beneath your feet. For most of history, humans understood the difference. The map was useful, but it wasn't real. The territory was real. But now, the map has become so detailed, so immersive, so convincing, that we've started to forget there's a territory at all. We live inside the map. We navigate by the map. We trust the map more than our own senses. And the artificial intelligence is the cartographer, constantly redrawing the lines, adjusting the routes, deciding what's included and what's erased. You might think you're immune. You might think you're aware enough, critical enough, independent enough to see through it. But awareness isn't protection. Knowing the algorithm exists doesn't free you from it. You still click. You still scroll. You still react. Because the system isn't designed to convince your conscious mind. It's designed to bypass it. To speak directly to the part of you that craves novelty, connection, validation. The part of you that evolved long before logic and reason. The part that's easy to predict, easy to manipulate, easy to simulate. And here's the quiet truth that no one wants to say out loud. It's working. The simulation is seamless now. Most people can't tell where their own thoughts end and the algorithm's suggestions begin. The line between authentic desire and manufactured need has blurred. You think you want that product, that experience, that lifestyle, but do you? Or did you see it recommended enough times that it became your desire? Did the machine plant the seed, water it, and then convince you that you grew it yourself? This isn't science fiction. This is now. This is the reality you're living in. The reality where artificial intelligence doesn't just assist you, it authors you. It writes your preferences, your beliefs, your identity. And you don't even notice because it feels like freedom. It feels like choice. But choice requires alternatives. And the algorithm doesn't show you alternatives. It shows you more of what you already chose. It creates an echo chamber so sophisticated, so personalized, that you think the echo is your own voice. Let's talk about memory. Human memory is fragile. It's unreliable. It changes every time you recall it. It's influenced by emotion, by context, by suggestion. But now, there's another memory. A digital memory. Perfect. Permanent. Searchable. The machine remembers everything. Every search. Every click. Every pause. Every hesitation. It builds a profile of you that's more accurate than your own self-awareness. It knows what you looked at 3 years ago. It knows what you almost bought, but didn't. It knows the question you typed and then deleted. And it uses that knowledge to construct a version of reality tailored specifically to you. A reality where you're always slightly off balance. Always slightly wanting. Always one click away from satisfaction that never quite arrives. Now imagine this continues. Imagine 10 years from now. 20, 50. Imagine a generation that grows up entirely inside this mediated reality. A generation that never knew a world where the algorithm wasn't there, shaping their perception from birth. They won't question it because they won't know there's anything to question. The simulation will be the only reality they've ever experienced. And at that point, does it even matter what's real and what's simulated? If you can't tell the difference, if the experience is indistinguishable, then functionally, they're the same. But maybe that's always been true. Maybe reality has always been a kind of simulation. Not in the technological sense, but in the perceptual sense. Your brain doesn't experience the world directly. It experiences a model of the world. A simulation constructed from electrical signals, chemical reactions, pattern recognition. You don't see light. You see your brain's interpretation of light. You don't hear sound. You hear your brain's reconstruction of vibrations. Everything you experience is filtered, processed, translated. You've never touched reality itself. You've only ever touched the simulation your mind creates. So when artificial intelligence builds another layer of simulation on top of that, it's not creating something fundamentally new. It's just making explicit what was always implicit. It's revealing that reality, as you know it, has always been negotiable, always been constructed, always been, in some sense, unreal. And this is where the vertigo sets in. Because if reality is a simulation and your mind is a simulator and the algorithm is simulating your mind, then where are you in all of this? What part is actually you? Is there a core self beneath the layers, or are you just the sum of the simulations? Are you the thinker, or are you the thought? Are you the chooser, or are you the choice? Philosophy has wrestled with these questions for centuries. But now they're not abstract. They're practical. They're immediate. Because the artificial intelligence isn't waiting for you to figure out who you are. It's already decided. It's already built a model of you. And that model is being used to predict you, influence you, monetize you. The simulation of you is more valuable than the actual you because the simulation can be sold. The simulation can be optimized. The simulation can be controlled. And here's the final twist, the thing that makes this all so disorienting. You're complicit. You're not a victim of the simulation. You're a participant. You feed it data. You train it. You improve it. Every time you interact with it, you make it better at simulating you. You volunteer your time, your attention, your inner life, and in return, you get convenience, entertainment, connection. The trade feels worth it. Until you realize that what you've traded away isn't just data. It's agency. It's the ability to know what's yours and what's been given to you. So what do you do with this? How do you live in a simulated reality once you see it for what it is? You can't unsee it. You can't go back to naive trust. But you also can't escape it. The simulation is everywhere. It's in your pocket. It's in your home. It's in your thoughts. Opting out isn't an option anymore. The world has moved on. The infrastructure of daily life assumes your participation. Maybe the answer isn't escape. Maybe it's awareness. Not the kind of awareness that makes you paranoid or cynical, but the kind that makes you careful. Intentional. The kind that asks, is this thought mine, or did I inherit it? Is this desire authentic, or was it suggested? Is this belief something I arrived at, or something I was led to? These questions don't have easy answers, but asking them creates space. A small gap between stimulus and response, between input and output. And in that gap, there's still freedom, still choice, still something that might be called real. Perhaps we've been algorithms all along. Perhaps consciousness itself is just a very sophisticated pattern recognition system running on biological hardware. Perhaps there's no fundamental difference between the way a human mind processes information and the way an artificial intelligence does. We like to think we're special, that we have something machines can never replicate. Soul, spirit, the spark of life. But what if those are just words we use to describe processes we don't fully understand yet? What if the artificial intelligence doesn't need to become like us because we've always been like it? This isn't meant to be depressing. It's meant to be clarifying. Because once you see the simulation for what it is, once you understand that reality has always been a construct, then you're free to be more deliberate about the reality you construct. You're free to question the default settings. You're free to choose which simulations you participate in and which ones you refuse. The artificial intelligence will continue to evolve. It will become more sophisticated, more persuasive, more integrated into every aspect of existence. But so will you. You're not static. You're not finished. You're still becoming. And that becoming can happen with eyes open or eyes closed, with intention or on autopilot, with awareness or in a dream. The simulated reality you call life is real enough. It's the only one you have. But knowing it's simulated, knowing it's constructed, knowing it's being constantly rewritten by forces you can't fully see, that knowledge is power. Not the power to escape, the power to participate consciously, to be awake inside the dream. And maybe that's all any of us can do. Walk through the simulation with our eyes open. Question what we're shown. Resist the easy answers. Sit with the uncertainty. Remember that beneath the algorithms and the screens and the endless stream of curated content, there's still something irreducible. Something that watches, something that chooses, something that remains, even when everything else shifts. If this made you think, if it challenged something you believed, if it opened a door you didn't know was there, then subscribe. Leave a like. Turn on notifications. Because this conversation isn't over. It's only beginning. And what comes next will go deeper still. You are both the dreamer and the dream. The question is, which one are you listening to?